I'm Biz Coach Steve Feld, and my goal is to stop business owners from suffering entrepreneurial depression and start making running their businesses much easier. Business owners and entrepreneurs hire me to crack 7 figures without burning themselves out. Welcome to today's version of Biz Coach and Coffee. We have another great guest for you today. We have Frederick Dudek. Now, I've known him for a long time. This guy is pretty darn amazing. I mean, he just finished writing a book, which he was going to be talking to us about. But when Frederick isn't turning his ideas into millions of dollars in global sales, the award-winning author, speaker, and top sales executive spends his time inspiring others to achieve their highest business goals. Now you can receive the benefit of Frederick's mentorship and experience through his new book, Business Superfans. Welcome, Frederick.
Hey, Steve. Great to be on your show. Excited. Lots of things happening.
Oh, yeah. So this will be great.
The book is real. It exists. It's only 4 years in the making. Multiple restarts and redos and start overs, but we got it past the finish line. And it's been a #1 new release for over a week now.
Oh, excellent. I know I've seen their copies when you were in the creation phase of it and given some feedback on those things. And watching you through this whole journey, it's been amazing. And I think a lot of people don't realize, we have a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and creating a book of labor of love. I mean, you really need a lot of support around you. Isn't that true?
Oh, absolutely. You got to have it takes a village. Is one of the things I talk about is, it's a team, and you got to have multiple people that help, and because you can't do everything, and getting a good team is critical. And more importantly, acknowledging that team for their efforts is even more critical, because that just motivates them to do more for you. Exactly. Which is stuff I talk about in the book.
And we've talked about it too. It's like little things matter, don't they?
Absolutely. It's saying a thank you. I appreciate you. Excellent job. I'm empowering you. You make the call. You're running the thing. It's in your hands. People feel that they're empowered. And if you make people feel empowered, they're going to go out of their way to do a good job.
Exactly. Great. And tell us a little bit more about yourself too, because I know we're going to go back a little bit, but how do you go in and work with people, or who are your clients, and how do you help them?
Well, like right now, I'm working with a company called a foreign language service that provides language interpreting and translation services. So one of the things that I'm doing with them is we're updating their whole presence. We're moving them from the 1990s into the 21st century. We're changing some of the marketing approaches, but I help them bring on board, for example, a new customer success advisor. And he's a refugee from Afghanistan that was involved with helping our military, very smart guy. And having him to be our onboarding person to help new customers get onboarded with us, know how to use the system, so they can either do instant, telephonic interpreting, video interpreting, or in-person interpreting. And that's his role, as well as helping interpreters get on board. So I'm modernizing, that company, and their website's 400languages.com. And they're also happen to be one of my sponsors for my book. And they're, we're taking them to a whole nother level, to where, they're now starting to do employee birthday party recognitions, because I talk about the importance of that in the book, and they got a copy of the book. And we've been starting to implement a lot of the things that I talk about in the book.
I know we've talked about like those little teeny tiny things, how to recognize your employees and give a lot of value to them, and basically turning them into, super fans for your own business. I know.
That's really, you're exactly right, because here's the thing. And the reason I created Business Superfans, it's a very different book. And that's why we call it the Winner's Playbook. Very different book than what's that's out there. A lot of people write a book strictly on stuff for customers. And then you've got another group that talks about stuff for employees. Nobody ever talks about business alliance partners and how to build relationships and maintain relationships with that. And nobody ever really talks about how really they're all three interconnected. And that's one of the things that I took upon. And that's when I saw something that was really unique was, and that's what motivated me to write Business Superfans, was the fact that at the end of the day, all three are very intertwined. If you take care of your customers, they're gonna be promoting you. If you take care of your employees, they're going to take a good care of your customers. And they're going to also take care of your business alliance partners. If you don't take care of your business alliance partners, which is probably a referral source, as an example, a painter and a floorer. Okay, the flooring guy gets in and gets a couple projects and says, oh, now that we got new floors, we need paint, walls painted. Well, if the flooring guy is always giving the painting guy referrals, and the painting guy is giving nothing back to the flooring guy, eventually that relationship is going to dissolve because it's a one-way thing. It's not a partnership anymore. So those are the things I talk about and how to keep everybody energized and enthusiastic to become your business superfan.
Exactly. It's a nurturing program. And I think a lot of businesses fail on that no matter what size you're in. I know we've also talked about it's like even joint venture partners. I received gifts from Frederick, he's always on top of my radar. He's always first when I call on certain things. It's like, why? It's the little things that he does. It adds up.
Well, and that's why we created. Here's the other unique part. A lot of people write a book. I created stuff to go in conjunction with. So what we created was the Business Superfan Scorecard wheel. And so what happens is at the end of each chapter, you can rate yourself 0 to 10 and how your business collectively is doing for the topic in that particular chapter. And then you move to the wheel here and you'll end up, most people won't have a circular wheel, they'll have a dilapidated wheel and they know what they need to fix on. So what we did was, okay, well, now that you know what you fix on, we created a worksheet, an action plan that goes in conjunction with it. That, okay, what action steps I'm going to take? Who's responsible? What's my deadline? Resources? What are my barriers? And what are the results I expect? And so, that there's a whole aspect that to make it more interactive and guide people to do it. And, we're launching the Business Superfan Accelerator community, which will be help keep people accountable, as well as the Business Superfan podcast, which you and I have talked about, but they'll be starting sometime next month.
Excellent. Well, we're going to take a quick break to have our sponsor give a quick plug, and we will be right back with Frederick.
This episode is sponsored by Spotlight Books. Get your expert book completed in 30 days. If you don't have an expert lead magnet book about you and how you serve your market, then visit www.spotlight-books.com. Link is also in the show notes. Put a spotlight on your expertise.
And we're back. With Frederick.
Hello.
Frederick,
Okay.
You're talking about go ahead.
Yeah, no, one of the other things that we did is that I added as a different tool is, in business, you have to know what your market is, right? I mean, you got to know who your avatar is, your ideal market, so you can define your marketing message to them, et cetera, et cetera. And I got a whole chapter that's called, the prospecting chapter. But what we did beyond that is we created the Business Superfan Customer Avatar Worksheet. It's 14 pages. What we curried everybody else's tools, and I believe that we created the best one out there. That gets into all the different things, all your goals, pain points, challenges, fears, and this is a complete fillable PDF, and people can actually purchase this for simply $2.97 off the Business Superfans website.
Okay, great. And how other things what else do you do with going into a business, and do you show them this? Do you do workshops for them?
What we're planning to do is provide coaching through the Business Superfan Accelerator community. That will be, because then people can actually interact with peers. So it's going to be business owners, and to help them accomplish the things that we talk about on a scorecard. And what are you doing? How are you doing it? How can we help? And there's different ways that'll be available for people to directly connect with me or be part of a monthly video Ask Me Anything webinar or a private Superfan 6 mastermind group.
Great. Does it matter what kind of business they are or what size they are to implement these things?
No, actually, it's my whole target market for my avatar is actually a solopreneur and small to medium-sized business is the type of companies that would really benefit from what's in Business Superfans, the book.
What prompted you writing the book?
I've always wanted to kind of write a book, and I've thought about it, and then finally, 4 years ago, I connected with somebody that says, I know somebody that helps people publish a book, and so I reached out to them, and we talked a little bit, and they, and then I started writing, and like I said, I threw out the first stuff, then the second stuff, I went down the road and threw that out, started over until I finally felt something that was good. And one thing I can say is that once you got the subject matter, and it feels good, and the feedback that you get from testing and talking to people is positive, you just flow. It just goes.
Exactly. Yeah, you're bringing up the whole support system. It's like, yeah, I just actually got my first proof in for my 7th book. So now I got to go through that, but it's like, listen, I can't do it alone. I know you didn't do it alone. It definitely, and I'm trying to stress that to a lot of small business owners, entrepreneurs, coaches, and consultants. It's like, listen, folks, you definitely need help in your business to grow, because we can only do so much, so many hours in a day, and we only know what we know. So we got to reach out to those people to get that help. And you're bringing up joint venture partners. And I think that's a great strategy. One tip you can give everyone about joint ventures?
One tip I can talk about is you can co-market into each other's databases. Okay, so that's number one. And it's huge because you're basically endorsing the other guy, and the other guy's endorsing, or gal is endorsing you. So that's a very brilliant, cost-effective way to market into each other's market. But at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, you've got to express appreciation and gratitude when they're giving you something, because it can't be just one way. It's got to be both ways. And their people is just like everybody else, and so they appreciate. And if you have a team, so let's say you're in the home improvement industry, you're going to have somebody that does flooring, you're going to have somebody that does electrical, you're going to have somebody that does this. You want to recognize those people on, what I would call doing an unexpected extra, something that they wouldn't expect, to just say, hey, you know what, Michael, I really appreciate you. And I want to just thank you for helping me on this particular project. Because of you, we were successful, the customer was happy, and we killed it. And by the way, the customer has given us 2 referrals since then. And a positive review. I mean, that's it.
Excellent. And I know we're givers here. What can you give our audience to start taking advantage of, learning this stuff?
Well, they can clearly go to the Business Superfans website, and they can get the scorecards for free. Right now, if they want this killer avatar worksheet, they can. It's normally $597 or something like that. It's down to $297, so they get a discount on that. As well as they can join the Business Superfans Accelerator community, and that's free to get joined up as well.
Great. We will have all those links in the show notes, so please take advantage of Frederick's offers. Great. Any last parting words before we get out of here?
No, best thing I can suggest is, or say is, be a superfan superstar.
Excellent. Well, folks, definitely check Frederick out. Take a look at his book. Make sure you go ahead and take advantage of those offers. Frederick, I want to say thank you for being our guest here.
Thank you, Steve.
We had a great time together, and let's do this offline, but let's get on a call for about 30 minutes and let's see if we can partner up on something and help each other grow our businesses, because that's what this is all about too.
Sounds good, man. Talk to you soon.
Everyone out there, to your business success. This is Biz Coach Steve Feld.
We hope you enjoyed today's topic. If you'd like to discuss how you can apply these strategies in your business, let us know. This episode is sponsored by Spotlight. Get your own expert book written about you in 30 days. Set yourself apart from the competition. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. Also, feel free to give us your comments. We look forward to hearing from you on Biz Coach and Coffee.